Morning, Lee. Hi, Jean. Morning, Benita. Hi, Charlene. How is everybody? Did everybody remember to do the clocks? I do like it that phones and you know, all your modern stuff knows before you do. Didn't like the fact that do you do that? You kind of get up and you think, well, it's really only 7:30. Although the clock says 8:30, it's really only 7:30. So that's why I'm so tired. Right, so we're looking. I'm going to start. I know people are still joining, but I'm going to make a start because I wanted to make a background from fresh, and I need it to dry. We've got 4 little demos prepped, and I prepped them just as if we were going to be on the telly. So it's pretty much prepped within an inch of its life, except for this particular background that we're going to be doing. And I need it to dry before I go on to the next step. So we're going to be just like I do, you know, we're going to wait for something to dry and do something else while we're doing it. So we're going to make a start anyway. So I've just got a piece of, this is quite thin card that I've just found in my stash. Paper would actually work, copy paper would work. And I've just taken one of Phil's Sentimentally Yours dies, and I've drawn around the outside of it with a pencil, so I know what size of a background I want to do. And I'm going to do one of these patchwork backgrounds, and they work really, really well with the Tutti Designs cross-stitch nesting squares, because when you cut these out, you've got ignore that little bit that's missing at the end, that's going to go on the edge of my background. You've got this beautiful cross-stitch detail, so whenever you put it down on your paper, you're going to see the cross-stitch coming through. So that kind of really gives you the effect that you may well have stitched it, which is, I really like that. I think it's quite nice. So anyway, I bought these back onto the shows. We've got the cross-stitch squares, rectangles, ovals and circles, which have been on before, but they're really, really lovely dies to work with. You can see that they don't go mega big. So the largest one, the outside cutting edge, is 3 3/8 inches square. So, and then the smallest one, you can do loads of things to the smallest ones as well. That's what's that, 3/4 inch. So yeah, I highly recommend these. And we've also got some banners and tags and postage stamp cross stitch as well, which are new. So look out for those. So let's crack on with my background. So I wanted to show you that this isn't actually as onerous as you actually think. So whenever you cut, and I've used this second size die, whenever you cut, just cut one of those as well. You know, don't even think about the fact that you're going to need to cut loads. Just cut one of those as well. So I've cut loads of these, and the papers I'm using are the Sentimentally Yours Nebula paper pack, and I'm using that one throughout. Now, you'd normally kind of just stick your glue down on each one, but don't do that. Lay some glue, and this is the Sentimentally Yours glue, over your edge, and then just pop them down. So you could use a piece of self-adhesive sheet if you wanted to, but it does make it harder to cut through. And we're going to do like a chessboard. It's also a waste of the cost of a double-sided adhesive sheet as well. See if I can get it straight ish. Doesn't matter, because if it goes on the wonk. So on a chessboard, you just alternate, don't you? So you could do a patchwork like I've shown you on my Facebook page. I showed one laid out, which I've got stuck down for a demo. But with your chessboard, you only need 2 colours. In fact, I've got a purple that doesn't quite match there. Did I need to go that many across? Let's double check. I'm sure that's enough. Yeah, that's going to be enough. So I didn't work quite in my lines there, but it's just a guide anyway, because you're not going to see the lines anyway because you've glued over the top of it. So just carry on. Desperately want to finish this pot of glue. We can do a couple of rows Doesn't dry that quickly. And obviously now we're going to go back to purple. Oh yeah, so what I was saying, I've got a different purple colour in here as well. So randomly we're going to have that purple dotted around. So you could just do this in black and white card if you wanted to. But I am literally using up scraps of my... I'm determined to get through a whole paper pack of fills. And Nebula is the one I'm going for at the moment. Remember, that's the one that's got... It kind of fades from... I've got the cover sheet somewhere. So they kind of fade. We've got 5 colourways and they've got different designs and they fade from one colour to the other. So this one's like green and blue, and then you've got pink and purple, that sort of thing. So that's the one we're using. So I don't want that. I'll go that side. So you can see it's quite easy to do if you lay your glue down first. So I've got my order all mixed up. Just be careful when you're putting them down that they don't kind of go under each other. It doesn't matter, you know. But you can see all these little cross stitch designs coming through, which is really cool. I mean, obviously you can do it with other square dies as well, but these are, I just really love these. I've had a lot of fun with these. In fact, I need to pack my bag, so I stopped playing with them because I've got other stuff I need to do this week. Otherwise, I just play and play and play and play. I mean, things like your standard shapes, they're great value for money because you're going to use them over and over and over again. So it's really coming together now, isn't it? I haven't got one made, so I do need to make this one. Because the one I've got made I've used for something else. Tighten that. And we're going back to the purple this here. And it, the other one I've done is got, I think it's got 5 different colours. So it's stepping down through the different colours across like a bar jello. But this is just like a chessboard. Nice to have a colourful chessboard like this. So every time you cut something, cut a square. And I would also suggest that you cut a small, perhaps a second size circle and the smallest oval out as well. And you'll see why on the shows on Tuesday. So you can get in there. Pretty, like this. Things like this make me really happy. And of course you can, just like I did when we did a Sentimental Yours show, once it's dry, do make sure it's dry. You can also run it through an embossing folder and add texture to it. I don't want to with this because I don't want to detract from the beautiful cross stitch. I think if I emboss it and then maybe sand it back, I'm going to lose that cross stitch detail, and I don't want to do that. I've got 2 here or 1. Hopefully I've got the right number. And if you're really frugal, you can actually cut some of these bottom ones in half and say use the top, because if we put this on here, you can see we're not using the whole one of these, so we could actually forget about this bottom row and cut half the top, but of course I've glued it. Right, there's my background already. So we're going to put that aside to dry and then we'll cut it out in a moment. Isn't that cool? They're really nice backing papers. Yeah, they're in inches. This is an inches ruler, Jean. I don't do centimetres. I'm too old to do centimetres. Although decimalisation came in 1971 when I was at school, I don't like centimetres at all. We leave centimetres for the youngsters like Philip. Right, put that to one side. We've got another background we need to do. So I've got, I don't want that one. One up here already. I don't want to lose those bits. I've got bits everywhere because I don't want to lose them. Right, so do you remember when I did the memory box shows? Put that with that. See, I don't want it white. When I did the memory box shows, I did a nice card, which probably got, there were 2 cards and they probably got more likes than I ever got on Facebook. And we used the washi tape from Memory Box, this lovely wide washi tape, onto my video's gone, onto a piece of white card and die cut the snowflakes out, and then I put it onto coloured card. We're going to do that same thing with one of the Tutti Designs shows. Oh, it's not showing my video. What a nightmare this is. Good old Facebook. Can you all see me? Just tell me you can see me. Because here it says it's having trouble with the video. Let me just try a different way. Videos. Looks like I'm live. There I am. Oh, nightmare. I don't know if it's my internet. Right. Okay. So we're going to do the same sort of thing with the Asian. I'm doing another background, which I'll show you in a minute. So out of my piece, grab my piece. This is my piece. So all I've done is I've taken a piece of A4 card and across the width I put my washi. So out of my one lot of washi through a width, I've got all these die cuts. So I've got 3 holes and 3 halves. Okay, that's going to be a background in a minute. And I've cut the largest of the cross stitch nesting rectangles. Here they be, which are on the show. Out of, this is the Rich Claret card from Sentimental Yours, and we're going to stick some of these on. I think we're going to go for 2 holes, so I'll have some left. And we're going to go, we only need part of these ones here. I'll stick these down, and then we're going to have them dry and trim them off. So let's get sticking on those. Oh, the video's gone again. I'll sort that out in a minute. I don't feel I was having trouble with his, I don't know if he did this week. I didn't see all of his live this week. I always forget as well when I'm gluing how far around I need to go, so I always end up gluing all of it. But it's fine, if you work on a craft sheet it doesn't matter. I just suddenly thought, oh, that washi is so lovely, and you know, you get given all this stuff to work with, and then they only get kind of one outing, which is such a shame. So I'm determined to use up some of the stuff I've been given. Now, there's no reason, of course, why you can't use memory box stuff with Tutti Design stuff, and obviously I'm still using Sentimental Yours stuff. We all do it. Let's see what this is doing. There I am again. And of course you can do this in lots of different colours, you don't have to use the washi. And I've got some demos in some lovely bright colours, happy colours. And then this is, we'll cover up as much as we can of the, because we can see that lovely sumptuous scarlet underneath. And we've got that, I mean the washi's got lovely foiling in it. So if you put it onto white card, you're going to see the full splendour, if you like, of the foiling. If you put it onto dark card, or if you pop it onto MDF, then it's going to be a little bit duller. It's not going to pop quite so much. Let's have this. I put far too much glue on. So you could once it's all dry, we can chop these bits off and you can use the bits in other backgrounds as well. Don't need that much glue on this. But you must, it's a really good idea for you to wait for the glue to dry before you carry on with your card, before you do any trimming, because otherwise you'll just move it and it'll fall off. There we go, we'll have that one there like that. Okay, so that's they. I've got 2 to play with. Then let's just pull this up and tidy that up. Put that aside to dry. We're doing a lot of drying at the moment. So, I mean, I haven't done this yet, but if you think about it, this wasn't going to be a demo, but if you think about it, if we put it onto that lovely rich claret cardigan, and then I've started cutting, and these lotus flowers out of the gold mirror card. So if you pop that back in there, it's not actually, and it's a little bit of a challenge because they're not 100% symmetrical. There we go, because they're all hand drawn, you see. And then this one will go in here. Maybe that's going to be a challenge, isn't it? If they're not symmetrical, they might not go in properly. I might have to cut a whole one in order to get it in right. There we go. So can you imagine how it's going to look? Oh, my video's frozen. Right. Oh, don't you just love technology? Right. I'm hitting every button I possibly can. And I don't think my computer can cope with it. Where am I? Oh, I'm here. Here we are. I'm back. But isn't that going to look lovely? I think that's going to look really nice. Right, so we're not going to do this. We're just putting this to one side. I've still got glue there, so that's for me to work on later when I should really be packing. Let's get rid of all this glue. I was hoping we would get 4 demos done, but if it's going to keep on freezing on me and disappearing, it's not going to be good, is it? Right, so that's 2 we've got on the go. So let's actually get onto one that we're going to complete. So one of the most popular dies earlier this year, I think, was the Oriental Screen. It's a really good size die, this one. It is just over 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. Just double check that again. No, 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches exactly. I wasn't actually on the cutting edge. So it's a really good size die. Obviously great to do, you know, your background. So we can now, I mean, I've cut it out of, this is the Poppy Red card from Sentimentally Yours, and I've just glued it on. I use a quickie glue pen around strategic points on the die cut because it's quite thin, and then just put tiny bits of Phil's glue on there. Because we're going to put in something on top, you don't have to worry about the centre too much because the foam tape's going to hold it all down. But what we can do is, and what have I done with those? Hang on, I might have packed those. Sounds of me ruffling through my demo packs. What have I done with them? Not there, are they? That's that one, 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 that's that one. Oh, maybe I didn't intend to do that one. Best laid plans and all that. Here's my gold bits. I was prepped. I was really well prepped. Right, in that case, what we'll do is we cut one. Can't be faffing around for ages. Let's get some gold mirror card. Now, as far as the dies are concerned, because I was a stockist of Tutti Designs, but as I said when I did the Fairy Hug shows, I'm not going to be stocking from the States at the moment, because the last few orders I've had, they've taken a while. Sometimes they've taken a while. Even when they've got into the UK, they've taken like a long time to get to me. And then they've been held in customs, and then I've been charged up to 60 quid customs charges, and I just can't afford that. So I'm not bringing them in. I do have a few Tutti Designs dies in stock, but once they've gone, that's it. Let's put this through. Reach my machine. There we go. All the dies will fit on your smaller plates in your machine. And this is what we want. We want the drop fall away pieces. Which will go everywhere normally, but it's quite good to keep them in a bag actually. In fact, I've got bags of red ones and black ones, and I might have meant to put black ones in, but let's just try not to make too much of a mess. So if we think about what we're going to do, we're going to put this postage stamp die, which is your cross stitch postage. See if I can find it and show it to you. There's so many dies here, which is lovely. I did actually recommend that we had these on the show because you haven't seen them before, and I had actually got a set in stock. I thought, let's have them if I can find them. Maybe I'll put them somewhere else. Oh, this is where it all goes to pot, isn't it? Is it under here? There they are, hiding. There's your postage. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dies there. And there is actually a smaller version of this. I don't know if it's got smaller kind of indentations or not, but I don't actually have that one, but it is actually on the show. So we'll find out what that's like together. So I thought we'd have that there like that. So we've got some exposed areas here. So let's do a little bit of paper piecing, just a little, not a lot, of some of the exposed areas. So we'll put in perhaps those in there, and we'll put in maybe one there and one there. I know it's a little bit regimented. I'm going for it now. Let's have one there and one there. And then you have to try and find the ones that match, because they're not all the same, which is a little bit of a challenge, but it will be lovely when we've done it. That one's too big. Yeah, that's not the one. It's probably that one. There we go. And then we want one of these. Some of them are a bit wide. I think that one's a bit wide actually. Let's put that one in. That one's not long enough. Oh dear. Why did I decide to do this? Not that one either. Let's try that one. That one should go in there. Because different paper shrinks at different rates as well. Let's we'll come back to that one that I can't do at the moment. It's one of the ones that's fallen out. If they don't fall out, it's easier. Let's go in that one there. See, just a little bit of an accent. That's not big enough. That's too big, rather. Let's try this one. Yeah, there we go. And one of those has come out of there. That one's too big. So you can tell it's hand drawn, can't you, if it's like this? You're thinking, oh, there's no way I'd do that. It is quite, in theory, it's quite relaxing. It's just going to give us a bit of an accent. That's going in there. Now one's fallen out of there. Where's the one that's fallen out of there? There it is. That's too long. That one going there. No, it's too long. Try this one. And that one is going to come in there. But you could do this in lots and lots of different colours if you wanted to. Make it quite funky. It doesn't have to be Asian if you don't want it to be. That one go in there, and that's too wide. Or you can find out which ones you need first before you put the glue on. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? I think I did that originally. That one go in there. And then we want 2 more. So I need to find those. Put the glue back in. And I need a long one. Yep, that one will do. And I might have tried this one before because it's got glue on the back of it. But it's going in this time. How weird is that? Ugh. Okay. So all these I'm going to put in a bag and keep those. Because I had an idea that you could actually, because I've got little bags of black ones and little bags of red ones, that you could actually make a background out of them. That would take a while. Let's stick that down. So, there's some in the die. That's probably where my ones that wouldn't fit are. See, but it cuts absolutely beautifully. I'm not going to pop out all the others because it'll make a mess and it'll take me ages. You don't want to watch me clearing up. So that's that. So let's pop some foam tape on here. You know, sometimes, you know, you talk about having patience to do it. Yeah, if you're in a rush, yes. But I have had the luxury of having quite a bit of time to prep for these shows. And ordinarily, I would have finished by now. But I keep on thinking of different things to do with them. And I think, no, I'm going to have the weekend off. Huh? That hasn't happened, has it? Because I've just carried on making cards with them, and I've got another one, at least another one, maybe 2 that are on the go, of course. As I kind of do stuff, I think, oh, I could do that with them. They are an absolute joy to work with. This show is full of really great dies. So there's some new ones and some that you've seen before. So this is now going to go in the centre here. Hopefully that's straight-ish. Let's see where my lines are. No, over a bit. Okay. So you can see you've got that accent now, and that kind of changes it. Right, so what we're going to put on here is the Asian landscape. I did have one of these in stock, but it's gone, so Chanda's the way to go. And do remember that when you're buying American things, or anything that's overseas. If it's on extended delivery, you need to buy on the day. I know it's a horrible thing to say, and it sounds like it's pushy, but they disappear off the website, so you can't buy them. So this is your Asian landscape, lovely die. So I thought what we'd get, I haven't stuck this down because I needed to decide whether to have my gold on the back, in which case it's going to look like that with a little drop shadow, which I actually really like. Or we can have gold on the top, but I think the gold on the top is a little bit too much. For me, it is anyway. It's a little bit bright. Everything's Tutti designs. All the dies I'm using, Debbie, are Tutti designs, except for my double D's from Phil on the outside. So I'm going to go with the red on top. And I meant to pick out another Quickie Glue pen because my Quickie Glue pen ran out yesterday. I was merrily going along, sticking down my die, thinking, oh, you know, this is good, this is quite relaxing, and then realised that I'd just spent like 5 minutes going around all the edges of one of the big dies with no glue in my Quickie Glue pen. I don't know if I was quite relaxed after that or not. I just thought, oh, what a waste of time. So I'm going to use my Sentimental Yours glue and not squeeze too hard. And then this will be number 1 card complete. I haven't done loads of sentiments on my samples. There's a few of Phil's sentiments, but mostly I've left them blank. So you can add sentiments afterwards or put the sentiments inside. I think that'll do. Right, so I don't get glue absolutely everywhere. What am I doing? I've done the wrong one. I want this one on top, don't I? Well, I'll need to put that one down there in a minute anyway. Right, we'll put that there for a sec and we'll put glue on this one. See, I got up too early. 8:30, that was really 7:30, was too early on a Sunday. So this is the Poppy Red card from Sentimental Yours. And you can see all of the dies have cut really well with that, and it's a 270 GSM card. But they do cut really, really well. I think the only die that I've had to go through a couple of times with is the multifloral background, and that's just because of the centre of the rose. But I'm not convinced that my Gemini is actually performing 100%. It's a reconditioned one that I bought recently. Didn't know it was reconditioned when I bought it. I'm going through so many plates. It's ridiculous. I tried cutting without the magnetic sheet and that doesn't cut. So anyway, so this is my red going on top of my gold. I'm just dropping it down a little bit. Hopefully still seeing the gold. I normally like to do this not on air, so that I don't make too much of a mess. But we'll go straight down and I'll clean this up because I've still got glue on back of the one I didn't mean to put it on, didn't have a knife. And go straight down on here. There we go, I like that. It works for me. Grab a piece of tissue to push it down. There we go. Oh, don't want that dropping that much. Okay, I'd normally put foam tape underneath there, but of course, because I did my gluing weird. There we go. There's your first card, all finished. So we've got the oriental screen, we've got the postage stamp nesting, cross stitch nesting, and then you've got the Asian landscape. So that's one that's finished. Let's see how we're going with the others. That's still a little bit wet, so we'll go with the other one that I've got prepped. Then we'll go back to the ones that we need to cut out. So another die. Some of the really popular dies from Tutti Designs are their stained glass windows. So we've got here the this is the Falling Heart stained glass. Lovely little dinky little die. And I've got one that's cut out of Fabulous Fuchsia. I've got the largest size of the cross stitch nesting rectangle cut out of double-sided adhesive onto white card. So that's going to go on there in a minute, and then we're going to do a little bit of paper piecing and a little bit of glitter. I need to cut out my paper piecing bit, and we're going for black, pink and white on this card. So pop that down on there. Where's my other plate, which I've put somewhere? Where have I put it? This is just me all over at the moment. I've got my big one. Where's my little one gone? It's disappeared. I'll have to use my big one. Right, big one it is then. Right. I'll find it when I'm not looking for it. Probably with my bag of gold die cuts. I'll pop this through. Hopefully not too much has escaped. Oh, it has. Excellent. Right. Nowhere to put anything. Right, let's see where we've got to go with this. Don't need that bit, might need that bit. So the bits we need, I'm going to go back in here for a minute. Not that one, that's that way. On my smaller one, it probably wouldn't have all come out like this. Where's that one gone? Oh, it's probably on the sheet, on the other plate. That bit, I need that bit. I think that one goes in. Does that go in there? Nope. It must do. Get away. All bit. I only need the heart bits, that's all I need. In fact, I don't think it's cut through that. We'll find out in a minute. That's the top one. There. And then we've got another one here. And then I've got a little bit missing there that I need. I don't think I need the rest. Right, so the next thing to do is to grab my low tack tape. I don't have to be 100%, I just need to know where they've come from. And I'm going to put my low tack tape over the hearts. So I know where, this is how I do it. So I know where they've come from. And I do that, I've done that with the floral background, and I've got bits that I can paper piece into other die cuts. So I've got a whole load of those. And of course, once you've finished with the low tack tape, you can use it on your die cutting again. And the gold one. So now when we take this out, let's get rid of this. we're only going to do the hearts, but we could do some of the outside bits as well. I'll see how it looks. Now we've got our hearts, and we've also got an extra die cut that we can use something else. So we could actually put the other colour back in here if we wanted to, the pink back in there. Right, let's not throw anything away just yet. So you can see this fits nicely into the cross stitch. So we're going to put that in there. Just put off a little bit of my paper. And then we can pop the heart kind of in there, I think. Like that. You don't want to touch the adhesive you want to touch the adhesive as little as possible, and then pop the carry sheet back on top to actually seat it nicely. Like that. This is the quickest way to paper piece with your double-sided adhesive on the back. So now we can grab our hearts, if they're not stuck too much to our backing, and just pop them in. And this one's going to go here. Just makes a change using pink rather than red with the hearts, I think. Let's grab this. If I grab this, then I can actually hold it without touching it with my hands. Come here. You can see why I can't do this on the telly, can't you? Because it just takes too long, unfortunately. Because it's a really nice technique to do. There is a way that you can do it so you can just transfer it all immediately, but I've never really taken the time to find out how to do that. And I don't think it's quite as satisfying when you sat here if you do it a quick and easy way. I actually really like doing it this way. I find it very relaxing, as long as I don't use a bit. But you know, at the end of the day, if you've lost a bit, you just cut it again, don't you? Because even if you're not using all the bits to paper piece back in again, you've still got your die cut. Doesn't that look pretty? I think it's quite an unusual stained glass die, this one. And we've also got, actually on the show, we've got the cat stained glass window. Now the cat stained glass window was impossible. I just couldn't get that at all. I think that one's going to fly. It flew last time. I haven't even prepared a demo with it because, well, I've got something I can do with it, but because I think it'll sell out before we even get to demo. So if you want that one, I have noticed as well that already the dies that have been on before are already loaded onto the system. So if you go and have a look at the TV schedule on Hochanda and look at Tuesday's shows, and it's at 3 o'clock and at 7 p.m. If you have a look there, then it'll show you the existing dies that have been on the show before. I don't know if they've loaded the new ones yet. I haven't looked today. So especially if you're a Freedom member, because you don't pay postage, if there's anything that you want that's on there, I suggest you order it straight away. I shouldn't really be telling you that because it doesn't go down on the sales figures for the actual hour, but I don't want you to miss out. So do grab them if you want them. It's quite quick once you get going, and these are actually quite reasonably sized pieces to put in. So that one goes in there. One more heart to do. Now it's sticking to that. And this is Elegant Ebony card that I've used from Phil. All the card I'm using is Phil's. we have got, so I'm just thinking we might want something around the edge. So I've got one there, so I've got two of the little ones. What else have I got on here? I've got one there, but I've only got three. Is it a four? Oh, what's that underneath? Is it? Yeah, four. I've got four. I can put the little squares in. That's nice to know. Just to give it a pop of colour on the edge. Oh, so you can decide it as however much or as little you want on here. This is where I don't know where to stop, because I'm thinking, don't know if I've got enough though. I can put top and bottom. I've got enough for top and bottom. Ooh, I have. So that's the top of the side. I think that's the next one, because there's a gap. And we want that one. And we want that one, I think. Just do these and then we'll finish and put put some glitter in the gaps. So put this one in here. See, it just looks better with a little bit of black on the frame, I think. But if you just keep all your bits like this, then you can change your mind as you go. So we've just got this one to go in here. And the tweezers I'm using are the Sentimental Yours pointy tweezers that are in the pack of 3. And then the 2 on this side here. And there. Last one. And you're going, yay! Well, I've had a lovely time. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Don't want that now, so get rid of that. Don't need those now because I've decided that's as far as I'm going. Where's my die sheet? There it is. Right, put the lid on that and we'll grab a piece of paper. And I could use the Sentimental Yours rainbow crystals, but I've managed to get some unicorn sparkles from Indigo Blue on my website. So we're going to use these to fill in the gaps. Just lovely iridescent glitter. Give it a flick. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Another flick. Happy with that. Any extra bits, if you've got a little bit of adhesive on your die cut, you know, where you put your tape, you can just get rid of it with an adhesive eraser quite easily. Right, so that's your unicorn sparkles. I've got glitter everywhere. A good way to get rid of glitter actually is to just mist your craft sheet with water, and then the glitter will stick to your kitchen roll. At least it normally works, except when you're on air or live. Right, so this now is going on my double debossed rectangle, and they do fit nicely together, the double Ds and the cross stitch, really nicely together. So that's going on here. Don't know what somebody's doing outside. I don't know if you can hear that. So there we go. And then we've just got one of the trio frames. I think this is from the Occasionals. I can't remember. And I want to put that somewhere. Let me have a look. I think I'll put it up there actually. I'm trying to see what you're behind me, so I can't see, or I'm behind watching. But let's put it up there. Love you. There we go. So that's another one. So that's 2 we've completed. So now we're going to go back to our background here. Remember, we did this at the beginning, so that for those that you have joined, all I've done is I've used the Sentimental Yours Nebula paper pad, and I've cut this second size cross-stitch nesting squares from Tutti Designs several times out of mainly the sort of, I don't know, sandy colour, and then the purple as well. And we've just done it like a chessboard on this one, and we've done it so that it's going to fit this double D rectangle. So now we're going to cut our double D rectangle out of it, and I want to have it so that my top and bottom are about the same size. Gap, and then so we don't want to make any mistakes cutting our background out. Now it is a little bit tougher to cut out because we're going through some glued paper. If you want to make it easier, don't actually glue your paper to card. Glue it to a piece of copy paper. That's a little bit quicker, a little bit easier rather. So I might have to go through twice, but we'll see. Fine, I think. Yeah. So there we go. There's our background now. Doesn't that look fabulous? Very happy with that. It might be slightly on the wonk, but most of the things I do are slightly on the wonk. So all we're doing is we're going to map that onto another double D. I love the cross stitch detail. It's just wonderful. Love, love, love these. I'd never seen, and I don't know still if anybody's done it, I'd never seen a cross stitch detail on a die before, ever. That doesn't mean to say that I know every single die that is on the market, because I do not profess to do that. But I just think that, you know, you've had the pierced ones, lots of people have done pierced ones, and you've had, you know, just normal ones, but cross stitch is very different, and you can see it's just lovely. I'll give that a chance to adhere. Then all I'm going to do is pop this die on, and look how it pops against that background. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not even going to put a sentiment on it, I don't think. I might stick a pearl in each corner, but I'm not even going to put a sentiment on it. And this one is called, if I find it for you, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's something like frilly flat. Oh, it is. I'll put it separate. It's called I can't even say it. Look, frilly flower frame. It's a shame Paola's not doing the show, isn't it? Really, because she would definitely get in a bit of a mess with that. Poor Paola. So yes, so that's what that one is. So all we're going to do is just glue that down. I'm not even going to put drop shadow on this one because I want the pop of the white against it. I have got another demo prep with this one, so I've got another idea of what you can do with this one. But it's quite a different die. I've not seen one like this before. So a quickie glue pen would be quite handy to have actually, but we're only obviously using this because I forgot to get one out. I have got myself a note to remember to take one on Tuesday. That'll do. don't want too much glue, so we'll take off the excess. Just pop this down here. I could put a sentiment in the corner. I'll just grab one and we'll see what it looks like. Oh, there's a little bit of a die cut there. Down. Let's grab a sentiment. Yeah, maybe. Yes, I think so. Let's put that on there. We'll put it on with some little foam pads. So this is one of the, I think it's from one of Phil's. It's from the Flourish Birthday Verse and Sentiments. And we've got a cross-stitch nesting rectangle, and then it's stamped with Jet Block Archival. So there we are. There's the third one. Bombing it now. How are we doing? Not even an hour and 3. See this, Mr. Martin? Now where's the other one? The last one. This is dry now, so we can give this a bit of a snip from the back. You can do it on your trimmers, but just be careful. Sometimes I mean, certainly my trimmer struggles to go through card and well, 2 pieces of card together, especially when there's been glue involved, which is definitely why you need to make sure that it's dry. Now obviously we're not going to see all the cross stitch because we've put our background on it, but we will see cross stitch in the gaps. I do need to get my eyes tested. Here we go. You can run your backgrounds through your machine with a embossing folder as well. That adds nice detail to it. Keep these little bits because you might want to use them on another background. There we go. So it makes a heck of a difference when it's all trimmed. It makes all the difference. So that now is going to come onto a piece of, again, double D's on the outside. That's going to go on here like that. I think that looks quite nice. To glue that in place. Do I want it that way? Yes. They're almost, the corners are almost opposite, so it doesn't really matter. I do have gold and silver mirror card on my website. I tend to get it at this time of year because it's nice to use on your Christmas cards. It's not very easy to photograph though, unfortunately. So let's see where we're going with this. Around the camera. Okay. Then, now for my first show on Tuesday, I've got Adam as the presenter. And his daughter's called Molly. So I thought we would just put a banner across with Molly's name on it. And like that. So, these are the banner, cross-stitch banners. So you've got cross-stitch tags, which are lovely, really handy to have. You've seen the postage stamp, and these are the banners. So I've actually used the smallest banner, and these are your ticket tape tastic alphabets, or alphabeticals, or whatever Phil's called them. But you can see you could do quite a nice big bunting if you wanted to. So that's your banners, which is new on the show this week. So let's pop these on with foam. I've actually adhered them to, it's a little bit of like baker's twine that's got a little bit of a gold fleck in it. And I've put a glue and the red liner tape on there as well. But let's put some little foam pads on the back, give it a little bit of dimension. still using these left over from my shop. I'm going to be using these until I'm nearly dead, I should think. Got so many of them. Quite handy though. They're just 2mm, so you could just use your foam tape and cut them up. Okay, let's see how these are going to land. That kind of works, doesn't it? There we go, that'll do. That's absolutely fine. So there we go. So that's 4 cards. So to recap, we've got this one. We've got this one with your frilly flower, whatever frame. Then we've got our Asian scene, and we've also got our heart stained glass. So I told you we'd do it. 4 in an hour and 2 minutes. I'm quite pleased with myself. So there's lots on the show. I've got loads and loads and loads of demos. I want to see if I can get at least 3 or 4 demos done in every hour. We'll see. It's not always possible, but yeah. Hopefully you'll like them, and do, you know, make sure that you get in quick if there's anything that you really like, because Tutti Design dies. If there's a popular one, it does fly. So just to recap, the shows are at 3 and 7 on Tuesday, and I've got Adam for the first hour and I've got Yanis for the second hour. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I will see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.